A 79th Group update. No assets, purpose or answers. If you're a loan note holder in 79th Commercial 3 Limited, CM3, or 79th Luxury Living 5 Limited, LL5, the latest reports from Kroll Advisory and Quantuma paint a devastating picture. There's nothing left. No assets. No trading history. No recoveries. No return for loan note holders. According to the Joint Administrators' reports, CM3 had no business activity and its sole function was issuing loan notes. LL5 never traded, had no assets, and was essentially a hollow trust structure. In both cases, if you are an unsecured creditor, you will receive nothing. Under UK law, administration should either save a business, improve outcomes for creditors, or realise assets to pay secured or preferential creditors. But none of that applies here. So why weren't these companies placed into compulsory liquidation, where greater investigation and public accountability are possible? Several investors report being contacted by Bond Review and Safe or Scam, which promoted the appointment of Kroll and the involvement of Paul Muscat, a restructuring partner at Crowell and Mooring LLP. These sites are not regulated in the UK, have no public directors, and offer no transparency around ownership, funding, or its management. Yet somehow, they appeared to obtain and circulate the personal contact details of UK-based investors to influence a court-supervised process. If personal data was shared or used without proper consent, and UK-regulated firms like Kroll or Crowell and Mooring benefited from it, that's not just unethical, it may violate UK GDPR, SRA rules, and data protection laws. If loan note holder support for administration was manipulated by opaque sources or improper data use, would the court have signed off on these appointments? Now, this is the question that undermines the very legitimacy of this process. We've seen this before. High Street Group also entered administration rather than liquidation. 3 years later, over £1 million in fees, zero return, and the process collapsed. Now it may be happening again with the 79th Group. The only guaranteed winners so far are the professional firms billing the estate. Loan note holders who have funded everything have received nothing but radio silence and growing invoices. Even Grant Thornton, appointed to another 79th Group company, has distanced itself from Kroll Advisory and Quantuma, implying poor cooperation and even comparing the group's model to a Ponzi scheme. Despite having legal assignments from creditors, Insolvency Law Limited has been rejected by Kroll based on questionable no-transfer clauses. This blocks one of the only parties pushing for transparency and accountability. There's no business to save, no assets to distribute, and no genuine recovery in sight. This administration is failing to protect investors, the very people who funded it. Insolvency Law is continuing to pursue transparency and investigating the conduct of certain parties involved, exploring potential action against regulated professionals and their indemnity insurers. We operate through lawful assignments, in our own name. We bear the cost and risk ourselves, because someone has to stand up to this. If your data was used without permission, or if your concerns remain unanswered, don't stay silent. Protect your interests. Ask the hard questions. Take action before it's too late. Email us at insolvencyandlaw@co.uk or call 020 7504 1300.
Disclaimer. Insolvency Law Limited is not a firm of solicitors or licensed insolvency practitioners. We do not conduct any regulated legal or financial activities as defined under the Legal Services Act 2007 or the Financial Services and Markets Act 2000. We do not offer legal advice, financial advice, debt counselling, or conduct of litigation. All blogs, podcasts, reports, and other published content by INL are provided solely for general information and educational purposes. They should not be interpreted as a substitute for regulated or professional advice and must not be relied upon as such. For matters that require regulated legal or financial advice, we recommend seeking guidance from an appropriately authorised and regulated professional.